Let's discuss team building and the very positive aspects of building a team that is a very cohesive, trusting, good communicating team. I want to leverage some of my Air Force fighter pilot flying experience to impress on you how to develop a very cohesive team that works well together. We trust each other. We communicate well with each other. Let me say just very briefly that as we are flying in combat, we need to be able to trust each other, communicate very effectively with each other. We need to be able to get information to and between each other in a very concise form. Let me just give you a quick example. I'm of the Vietnam era. We are flying over North Vietnam, and we have a four aircraft flying together, flying what we call MIG-CAP, C-A-P, Combat Air Patrol. During this time, we are overflying Hanoi. A MiG-21 comes up and, unbeknown to me, and comes behind my aircraft. It turns out the number 4 backseater says, "Toes, brake left." Toes is my tactical call sign, another story behind that. But right at that point, even in spite of the chatter that's on the radio, I brake hard left, and I look out the left side of my aircraft, and an ATOL, it's a heat-seeking missile, detonates about 500 feet behind me. Had my backseater, or the backseater of that 4-ship aircraft flight, not called me to brake left, we can only suppose what could have happened, but it was through the disciplined lookout, disciplined communication with each other that he got those words out to me. Brake left, I did, and my aircraft in turning hard left, it reduced the heat signature of that missile. It detonated behind me, and I'm here to tell you about what occurred then without having to spend any amount of time in the Hanoi Hilton as some of our other POWs did. Here's where I'm going with this, teamwork. As we communicate well with each other, as we relate well with each other, we have to be able to communicate well with each other. We have to trust each other. When we're in a situation of needing to reach a goal, we need to be able to work together effectively. All of this starts out with the leader knowing who he or she is, knowing our respective weaknesses, knowing our strengths, and the team we build complement our weaknesses, and together we are the best we can be, because where I am weak, I know I can come to you and ask you to help me in those areas where I don't have the talent you do. Together, we as a team function well because I know your strengths, you know my abilities, and I know that I can come to you and ask you to do whatever you can do better than me. I have enough confidence in myself that I can ask you to do what I am not gifted better in doing, but you are. And there's a trust factor. How do you know if you can trust different people? That occurs over a relationship of acceptance, and you know each other well enough that you can trust. There are some of us who want to assign on a 10-point scale of trust a 10, and you have to work backwards from there. But there are other personalities who would say on a 10-point scale, you start out at 0 and you have to work your way up. Irrespective of personality, we just know each other. But as I know who I am, and I want to surround myself with those team players that complement me, we work well together. I use the term frequently, be appropriately vulnerable, meaning I have weaknesses. I have been through different things in life, and I'm fine to let you know that I've been through different things I have experienced, and no attempt to garner sympathy, no attempt to focus on anything in the past, just let you know. Been there, done that. That's the very short version of it. But by us being appropriately vulnerable, we come across as being genuine, And in the context of being genuine, we know we share values, and I like to have team members whose values align with mine. I want to know exactly your values, what I want for you to know what mine are, and when we have that alignment, we're going to work very well together. Because let me just use one example. I would never say anything negative to or about you without first talking with you. In the context of gossip, gossip by its very nature has as its core premise to denigrate somebody, to reduce them to something different. I would never do that. That's one of my values. That we would never denigrate each other, but rather we're always going to work with each other because we're focused on the greater goal of the team, and together we will accomplish more than any one of us individually. This topic needs to be expanded much more than this, but when you are surrounded by those whom you trust, when you know your values align, when we know we can trust each other, and we're always working together toward the greater good, we're going to have a very cohesive team. The axiom, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, take the team. We advocate the team that is tightly cohesive. We trust each other. We communicate well with each other. We're going to move forward and accomplish some great things together. Let's purpose to work together. Let's purpose to trust each other. Let's purpose to be confident enough in ourselves we would never want to purposely denigrate anybody. Let's work together and build a strong team.